My next guest is an author. What's an author, Craig? It's like a blogger who went to college. An author. She wrote a book called How Did You Get This Number, which is now in paperback. Please welcome the lovely Sloane Crosley, everybody. Sloane Crosley. Yeah, things were a little tense between me and Tony Shalhoub, but I think it's all right.
I hope our conversation is as enjoyable to me as it is to you. It was a little tense.
I know. I was like, okay.
Well, I think maybe you asked him about finance. People get a little wonky about finance.
Oh, really? Because I asked him. I didn't mean it, you know? I mean, anyway, never mind. Look, when I saw you were here promoting the hardback edition of this book, and there was a picture of a bear on the cover, and there's no bear here.
That's true.
But there's toilet paper on the cover.
Well, that hints. If a bear, you know.
Oh, if a bear does something in the woods, that's what you're going to need, then.
It's like a Charmin commercial.
Oh, right.
But just the tail end of it.
It's pretty much the same book, but without the bear and with a soft cover.
And flexible.
Yeah. Well, there
exactly.
you go.
And it feels like toilet paper. Yeah, that's not going to come out on TV.
That's what I use toilet paper for.
Exactly. Please don't use my book for that, though.
No. It's quite rough. It's like prison toilet paper.
Right.
Right.
Do you have that frame of reference?
Have you ever been to prison?
I was asking you if you'd ever.
Yeah.
No, I went to jail a little bit once, though.
You went to jail a little bit?
Not really. Just a little bit of jail.
Well, how much jail did you get? Like a week, 2 weeks, well, 3.5 years?
You know, it was high school, and I, you know, got caught drinking on a golf course or something like that, and they
drinking on a golf course is an offense.
In this country, it is, yeah. And well, if you're underage, and they took me to jail with a bunch of people in the back of a cop car.
Were you scared straight?
No.
May I ask? I don't wish to be rude and pointy, but you've got a giant Band-Aid on your leg.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What on earth have you been doing? Outdoors a lot?
I have. What's funny is I have been traveling quite a bit, and this is not from that. This is from being terribly rude and texting while walking, seeing something shocking, and just biting it on a curb.
You fell over?
I felt like you don't fall as an adult. You know what I mean? Where you skin your knee and everyone comes around and
Did you start crying?
No, but everyone's so nice about it, and all you want to do is have them turn away, and you just sort of want to sit there and bleed.
There was bleeding?
Oh my! I'm not gonna. No, this is a family program. I won't show.
It's not a family program. Yeah, if you're the Addams family, it's a family program. Not a family program.
No, I really bled, but I haven't had something happen that was so, you know, normally when you get sick as an adult, you have the flu or something like that. It takes over your whole body, but I went into, you know, the local pharmacy, and I forgot that you can talk totally normally when you're bruised, and I went to the pharmacist, and I said, I hate to bother you, but I seem to be bleeding profusely from my leg. And she sort of looked over the counter and screamed. And
oh, well. Yeah. When they scream, that's a sign that it's serious, yeah.
Well, they don't see that much. The worst thing they see is people, like, haggling for toilet paper discounts.
So you said you've been traveling. Where have you been?
I went to, let's see, I just got back from Ecuador.
Ecuador? Jeff, you've got a place in Ecuador, haven't you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I actually used to live in Edinburgh. Where did you live?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you used to live in Edinburgh in Scotland?
Yeah.
Were you there in 1985?
I was there. Do you remember? No. 95?
95, yeah, of course. I forgot I was a grandpa. Where's your place in Ecuador then, Jeff?
Yeah, it's in the hotter part.
The hot part. Is that where you were in Ecuador?
I was actually in the colder part. We wouldn't have crossed paths. Yeah. I actually went. I went as sort of a last-minute trip, and I asked a bunch of friends what I should do, and you know, some came back with, you know, go to this museum, don't go down this dark alley, that kind of thing.
Wow, what helpful friends you have. Yeah.
Friends.
Don't go down dark alleys. Write that down.
How will I ever never remember that. Yeah. And then one of the suggestions was that I climb a mountain called Cotopaxi, and so I thought, great, I'll do that.
Cotopaxi is what you should put on your knee as well, and you.
I had to use crampons to climb the mountain, so it's all in theme.
All right.
But yeah, I did that, and I didn't realize I've never even been skiing, and I didn't know that it's like a 2-day trip, and it's
very high.
One of the higher active volcanoes on the continent. It's about 19,000 feet.
Did you smell lava?
No, I smelled fear mostly. Honestly,
I've been up Mount Etna and I smelled lava. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I don't know her.
No, Mount Etna, it's in Sicily. I went on it. It's an active volcano. It's like Kokapiki, the one that you went up.
It was just, but I got altitude sickness.
How high were you?
Well, you mean when I puked? Around.
No, in Edinburgh in '95. How high were
you? You mean when I puked?
Yeah.
About 15,000 feet.
Wow, that's very high.
Or 9 pints in, depending on the answer to your question.
Oh, 9 pints?
Edinburgh, the puke.
What did you drink pints of? Pints of hard liquor or pints
in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
We drank a lot of Carlsberg.
Carlsberg, yeah. That's the Danish lager.
I don't know how it got there. I mean,
I know how it got there. You walk up to the bar and you ask for it. That's how it got there.
I guess so.
You ever been to Denmark?
No. I've never been to Denmark.
You want to get there?
What, because of the Danish?
No, because of Kierkegaard.
I never would have seen that coming. Isn't there a statue of a little boy, like the Mont Peace?
Yes,
little boy pissing
in Copenhagen.
In Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it, Hagen?
I say it that way, but I'm
because of the ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's like when people say Chile.
You know, it's Chile. Or when newsreaders say, now in Nicaragua.
Nicaragua, I know.
Why are you talking like that? I like to say Nicaragua.
You can only do it but in reverse. It works perfectly well. I feel like if I have friends who are fluent, Spanish speakers, but you would never know that, or they were native Spanish speakers, and then they say a word in English, and they can snap back, and it's charming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Nicaragua, like that.
Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, no, we used to watch in Scotland when I was a kid. They used to have the Gaelic TV channels, and we used to watch the news when we were high, because they would go in the Gaelic, and then every now and again there'd be English. It would go Bill Clinton. Cigar. You know, I was like...
We have that with my experience growing up with Telemundo, the same thing.
Telemundo, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same, but we didn't have the Gaelic channel. We had local access, which you couldn't understand either, but that has nothing to do with a language barrier.
This is kind of like a local access show, don't you think?
It's all one big town.
Yeah.
America.
It is. Wow, that's great. Is that in the book?
No, that's not in the book.
You want to put that in the book?
There's some American travel in addition to foreign.
You should write about
Parisian travel.
You know what? This is a nice photograph, but you're far more beautiful in the photograph on your book. Listen, I talk to a lot of authors. It's usually the other way around.
It's usually the other way around. Thank you. That's very nice, but I think that
and you're much bigger than that. I mean, you're tiny here. What are you like?
That's a very small. I've gained a lot of weight. My head's
height,
this big compared to that.
Like
I also look like you can't really see, but it cuts off where my arm is going. I think a lot of author photos get cropped in funny ways.
Where is your arm going?
I don't know. No one knows. But I
think back.
Again, family programming.
All right, yeah, I don't really. Well, we're out of time. Awkward pause or mouth organ?
Awkward pause, I think.
It's like having Tony Shalhoub back on. Care to up the ante to the most difficult awkward pause of all?
What would that be? Just more of this?
Smell my finger awkward pause?
What does that entail? Whose finger? I don't know. My parents are out there somewhere.
Yeah? What does that mean? I mean, it's just... Let's just smell my finger awkward pause. This is it. Like this. It can just be that.
Okay.
But it can also be this.
Or if I was like...
And then I wouldn't let you smell my finger? That'd be awesome.
That'd be really It's all mine. It's
no, don't smell it. My precious. Anyway, we're out of time. It's lovely to see you.
It was lovely to see you too.
Come back when they... you don't have to write another book.
You just keep on coming in different formats.
Yeah, well,
maybe the CD.
You're doing a CD?
No.
Are you doing an audiobook?
I read my own audiobook for this.
Well, then come back with the audiobook next week.
Oh, good. Well, I won't have to be here. I can just put a cassette player, like a really old one, and play the audiobook.
Yeah,
no?
we could do that too, all right, I guess. If you really don't want to be here, that's... Sloane Crosley, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, my next guest is an author. Now, an author, if you don't know, it's kind of like a blogger, but some went to college. She's a very, very clever author. She wrote this book, which is called How Did You Get This Number? Which is the story about a bear that starts using a telephone to menace people. Like he would call them up and go, "Rawr!" I haven't read it yet. But the author is very, very talented, very beautiful. Please welcome Sloane Crosley, everybody. Sloane Crosley. Sorry about last week when William Shatner was here and you were going to be on, and then I'm sorry that happened.
There are worse people to get bumped for than William Shatner.
William Shatner, yeah.
I won't name them.
He's an American legend. Well,
he's a Canadian one.
Canadian,
as well.
Yeah. All right, college. What else are you going to correct me on? Hey. May I say that you look better than any other author who has ever been here ever in the history of authors. I'm just saying.
You should interview more actresses turned authors. Because
were you an actress?
No, but I imagine they're very, very easy on the eyes, and you don't have to read
No,
the
but
book.
this is proper writing.
You don't know that. It could be...
I wrote that. I read the first one. See?
Okay. I did actually write. Well, actually, I wrote on a laptop, so it's not really proper writing.
No, you don't have to write with a quill pen to be a real writer.
Well, I told someone the other day that I had a lot of writing to do, and that I couldn't be out too late because I had a lot of writing to do, and I did this symbol.
Right.
And my friend sort of looked at me and she's like, "You're going to go home and give someone a very bad massage. That's what you..."
Doesn't look that bad to me. Give it a go. Let's say it. Yeah, I'm all right with it.
That can't feel good. No.
It's a start.
I don't know. Well, it's not the worst thing in the world, yeah.
Well, no, so this is about a woman that gets attacked by a bear on the phone.
It is. It's about bear attacks in the Southern Plains. That's not true.
No, I know. But I knew it wasn't true, but the audience were like, oh.
Wow. I did go to college.
Yeah, I know. But
that means a lot about the Southern
People
Plains.
that went to college still can write stories about bear attacks.
That's true. There is a bear attack story in this. It's about...
No.
Well, but the attack is not on the bear's part. I saw
Someone attacks a bear?
Yes.
That's ambitious.
I saw... Not if you have a car.
Oh.
I know. Now it's gotten sad.
No, so they run a bear over?
It happened. I'm actually ruining the ending to one of the essays as we speak. As I speak.
None of these people are going to read.
They're not going to read it either.
Knock it off.
It's a sad thing that's turned funny and light, the way bear death can be.
Well, bear death is never funny, Sloane, but I think sometimes we can learn something. You know, this is interesting. This is the first time in the history of authors that the author looks better than their photograph in the book.
A friend of mine took that photo. She's going to be really mad.
No. When I say that... Well, look, you can't please everybody. I'm sorry about that. It was just, it's not the... Hey, so the bear dies?
Well, I look better than the bear.
No, the bear, actually, that's a grizzly bear. Did you know that?
That's That can't be true. Is that true?
Well, I can't know
I'm
anything?
not responsible to this. It's possibly true. Actually, the woman who took this photograph also, it's a real bear. You know, it's not a man in a bear suit. A lot of people think it's a
man in a bear suit? Why would you? Hey, we're not going there.
He's so unnaturally expressive.
What, this?
I think so. You can't really tell. Probably it's probably too small on camera, but he's got a lot of life in him before.
Yeah, that's a bear that has some kind of sardonic quality.
I think.
He's kind of like
as do the Eskis.
Yes, I know your writing has a sardonic. So we finally returned to that.
No, we can depart.
But you write a little bit. You in the first book you wrote a little bit about New York City because you live in New York City.
I do. I live in New York, and it was very much a sort of dark comedy coming of age in your 20s in New York, and this one takes that sort of pessimism and you know, general melancholy, adds bears, takes it on the road. There's also clowns in this book. Clowns? But none of them die.
Clowns?
Clowns.
Are the clowns evil?
No, they're mimes, or I thought they were mimes when I first met them, and then they started speaking.
Talking, yeah. That's the giveaway. Yeah.
Poorly trained mimes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But no.
Where did you meet clowns in New York?
Well, I didn't. I actually went to Lisbon to meet the clowns.
Lisbon. I didn't see any clowns.
Really? Yeah. Well, you must have been going to the wrong part.
I clearly was in the wrong place. Yeah.
I spun a globe and decided I was going to go wherever my finger hit, so long as it didn't deplete my whole life savings going there.
Right.
And I landed in Lisbon in the middle of winter.
I like you a lot.
I did it.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that.
Well, actually, I'm lying to you a little bit, though.
I like that, too. That's up to, I'm like, really? Go lie some more.
It's a sort of conversational oil, the lying. But no, the first time.
Isn't that the greatest thing you ever? That is the greatest thing I ever heard. I wasn't lying, honey. It's conversational oil.
It is.
And you need that if you're giving a bad massage.
You do. That's true, because you have to dip your fingers.
Dip your fingers in the oil and then...
in lieu of the ink that you would use if you were actually writing, not on a laptop.
All right, tell me what you were doing.
I somehow, oh yes, I spun the globe, and this is what I was lying. I didn't point to Lisbon at first. At first, I spun it with much drama and pointed to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and I thought, no one's watching.
No.
I did it again and landed in Lisbon, and it was a pretty lonely, odd, dark time. Then the last night I was there, I met a troupe of clowns who befriended me and made me drink. Are you sure this hasn't happened to you? Are you positive?
Wait a minute. Does this sound familiar?
Oh, I didn't recognize you without
that was me.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember these?
Oh.
Yeah. Remember the car?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
you went drinking with clowns in Lisbon?
Which is important for me because I had a huge fear of clowns, as everyone does. Aren't you afraid of clowns?
Not anymore.
Because of what happened.
No, I learned their ways.
Anyway, long story short, they befriended me, and I convinced them that I was not an alcoholic through a series of picture drawings, because I don't speak Portuguese, so we have to actually speak in drawings.
Right.
You know when you draw.
Yeah, I know. I know how to speak in drawings. I just, you know, it's an unusual choice with clowns speaking in drawings in a bar in Portugal.
They spoke a little bit of, I just, you know, I don't speak any...
Did you try using horns or you know, like maybe concertinas?
I tried. They thought I was making fun of them, weirdly. I don't know why they would think that. They're very sensitive.
Yeah, no, clowns are sensitive.
You know,
Tears of a Clown, ever heard of that?
Send in the clowns.
Send in the clowns. That was Celine Dion, wasn't it? I don't know. William Shatner.
The Canadians.
Yeah,
the Canadians that just keep on coming up?
Yeah.
I know, they are.
We're out of time, which I hate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I know, and I hate that.
I know, I'm apologizing, but I'm sorry.
No, are you? You sure you're not Canadian? You just apologized for something that wasn't your fault.
That was conversational oil.
Nah, you can say it.
Lubricant.
Yeah. I want you to come back here before you write the next book.
Okay.
Because give me a week to read it, and then come back and we'll talk about it.
Oh, it would be like a book club.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. I'll be like Oprah, except poor.
And I'll fly to Chicago.
You fly to Chicago, and I'll be like, and they'll be like, ah. When the paperback comes out, will it have a bear on it too?
I don't know. I hope so. Or maybe a different animal. Your animal of choice we can put on the cover.
Let's put a clown on it.
Okay, done. Sold.
That'd be nice.
Sold.
All right, Sloane, you have to come back. Give me about, how many pages?
290 something.
Yeah, 297. All right, I'm gonna need a month.
Okay.
I didn't go to college.
That's. I
So
barely was
like,
conscious during it. It's fine.
The clown.
Yeah.
Poured me a large.
I can write it out for you in pictures if you'd like.
You'll do a picture version of this for me?
Yeah. If you ask nicely, yeah.
I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done. Sold.
Sloane Crosley, everybody. We'll be right back. My next guest is a beautiful, best-selling author. Her latest work is an e-book. So I don't have one because this is CBS, but it's an e-book. I can't borrow the CBS computer. It's not my turn. Anyway, it's an e-book. It's called Up the Down Volcano. It's available online. Please welcome the lovely Sloane Crosley, everybody. Sloane Crosley. Look at you look great.
I am a bird poop magnet.
You
apparently.
are. You got the red dress on. Birds will go crazy for that.
There you go. No, I've never actually been.
May I say how lovely your hair is?
You may.
It's very.
Thank you.
It's just lovely. I'm just looking at it. It catches. There's not a lot of light in here, but it's catching it.
There's really. I'm like blinded. There's a lot of light. I think.
Really? I'm getting old.
Although it's not. It's not. I think it's you. But you have people backstage that make this possible. I make it sound like I'm in that. You know that Shelley Long movie, Dead Again?
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Basically, she, she dies, and then her husband's a plastic surgeon who like spray paints.
Oh yeah.
And so that's what the kind of miracles that your staff is working backstage. It's actually illegal what they're doing.
Are you? Do you believe in life after death?
No. Well, I don't really believe that. So what am I supposed to believe now that would make me believe that later? I'm trying to be specifically obtuse. I don't believe in life after death.
Well, that's okay.
But that's a loaded question.
Is it?
Yes.
You make it sound sexy. Do you believe in life after death? And by life after death, I mean
you mean the French
promiscuity.
way. In the French way, le petit mort.
Yeah. Oh, le petit mort. That's very different.
That's.
The literal translation of le petit mort is, of course, the small death.
Right.
But what it means
is, of course, the French attitude towards sex.
Right.
It means orgasm.
It means orgasm. In
America.
I'm European. I knew that.
They gave us that and the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Those were their gifts.
Well, and no, fries are from Belgium, aren't they?
Yes, Belgium is everything bad for you. Fries, chocolate, waffles.
Black tar heroin.
Black tar heroin. They sell that out of a food truck now.
Yeah, you can get them from vending machines. Black tar heroin. Yeah.
That's right. It gets
like
stuck
chocolate, black tar heroin. It's so different. I like dark chocolate and black tar heroin.
What should I do?
Have you ever been to Belgium?
I have been to Belgium. Belgium was a brief, sort of fleeting 2-day trip for me. Mm-hmm. Well, I was studying away. I lived, and I don't know if this is a sore point or an amazing point for you, but I lived in Scotland for about a year.
Oh, I love Scotland. It's my home country.
And I saw your series that you did, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know where the Revolver bar.
See, I don't. I know this is hard to believe. I don't know where the Revolver bar is. But have you been to the Revolver bar?
I haven't been there, but I know it's in an area that is. Do you know that it's called the Pink Triangle? That's the area it's in.
I can imagine what part of town it is. Yeah.
But it's and so I lived in Edinburgh though, which is sort of I found much more international and didn't feel quite as Scottish to me. As Glasgow, I really didn't understand anything anyone was saying.
Yes, the Glasgow accent can be very difficult to understand. I sometimes go home and I'm like, I didn't get a word.
I can't understand. People generally do that with their own handwriting. I can't read my own handwriting. I should have been a doctor.
Do you do your writing written down? Like, do you handwrite your books?
No, I write stuff to myself in the middle of the night that makes no sense on the BlackBerry.
You write books on the BlackBerry?
First of all, I have a BlackBerry. It's the equivalent of saying I have sort of quill and ink. The situation.
Let me just get out my BlackBerry, Mr. Scrooge.
They sell it with that, actually.
Yeah, I think so. So, what's an e-book then? What's the difference between an e-book and a regular book?
Well, when a regular book and a computer love each other very, very much. Okay.
Yes.
It is only available as an ebook. It's a little bit shorter. It's a one giant long essay that it's actually a piece of a story I told here last time, so I won't repeat myself. But it's about climbing up a volcano and falling.
Oh, I remember that story.
Yes, and you actually, I had a Band-Aid on my knee, and you implied that maybe my injury wasn't so bad, and there's still a scar there.
Let me see.
Okay.
And now I'm just looking at your whole leg. I used your injury for my own perverse enjoyment. I was like, wow, that Band-Aid turned into a little pity more for me.
She's just got it's just bleeding. Yeah, it's like Carrie. But anyway.
No, it's not like Carrie. No.
No.
You can't do that.
No, that's bad. But yeah, so it's basically a shorter version of.
Do you think when you're writing, this is for an ebook, so I'm going to write differently than I'm going to write for a paper ebook?
No, you sort of take the brakes off a little bit because you can write as long as you want. Instead, I sort of thought of it as a longer magazine piece. So a magazine piece, you have certain restraints.
Magazine's sort of like a papery blog from the olden days, isn't it?
Yeah, they melt horses like the one you have backstage, and they use wax, and they cover the...
Is that how they make magazines shiny?
Yes, that's why magazines make no money anymore, because they're using all the horses.
I had no idea that magazines were melting down horses. Is that true?
It's
any specific magazine?
One at a time. All of them.
How many horses to make a magazine?
Like working there?
Oh, meow. Meow. Could we have a saucer of milk for Sloane, please?
I would take. I'm a cat person. I would take.
Are you a cat person?
Now,
by that do you mean do you have a cat or do you dress up as a cat?
A cat costume. Yeah. I dress like a cat. That is very important since we're talking about the mascot that you have in the back. No, I am a cat person. It took me a while to actually admit. I go both ways. Much as they do at the Revolver in Glasgow.
You're certainly welcome here, young lady.
But I grew up with all sorts of animals, and I have a cat, and I think the most popular thing I ever wrote by far was an op-ed piece for the New York Times about how I was sick of being sort of an apologist, a feline apologist, that it's not my fault my cat's so cute. I really like her.
Well, there are many women who feel the same way.
I know, and they're crazy.
But you mustn't be ashamed. There is nothing wrong.
This is national television.
National television, and you're out here saying how much you love your cat. Your choice, Sloane. Your choice.
She's got a lot. You're
going to tell me about your cat now? You're going to tell me a story about your cat? Oh, she's so cute. She knows where the door handle is. Is that where we're going?
If I had pictures, it would be really
fun. Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
On your BlackBerry. Look, my cat.
You can sort of see that's a tail, that's a tooth. There you go.
Listen, we're out of time. What do you fancy? Open pause, mouth organ, big cash prize, or something else?
Whoa. How much is in the big cash prize?
$50. In quarters.
And what do you have to do? Well, my question is because if it's...
What are you prepared to?
No. As with magazines, the most minimal amount possible.
Well, you can answer a question.
Okay.
Or you can guess what's in my box.
Okay.
Or you can imagine what Her Majesty the Queen is thinking.
Okay. Those all seem like they're worth about $25. Can I take half of it?
The questions can be pretty tough.
Okay, I will take the cash prize, please.
What time is it, Shadow David?
Once again, for the big
Guess wrong. In total, for the Bible, don't touch it till you earn it. All right.
Okay.
Question box, Her Majesty the Queen.
Her Majesty the Queen.
All right, okay. We have imagined a scenario in which Her Majesty the Queen has been falsely imprisoned.
Okay.
It's her Jubilee year. She is upset. She is distraught.
Yes.
You have to ask yourself, what is Her Majesty the Queen thinking?
Why did I not work out like Pippa when I had the chance?
That is exactly what I think! $50 American dollars, Sloane Crosley. We'll be right back, is an author. What's an author, Craig? It's like a bloggy person without a computer. She wrote this book. It's a bestseller called I Was Told There'd Be Cake, and How Did You Get This Number? That's not the name. Oh, maybe that's something she said to me. Please welcome Sloane Crosley, everybody. Sloane Crosley. Hi, Sloane.
Hi.
You look nice. I like that dress.
Thank you. You lead with such a flattering foot.
Well, I'm a creepy, pervy guy.
Oh,
well, I'm European. We won the Nobel Peace Prize this year, you know.
All of you.
All of us. We all get to share in it. We all get it for a day.
It's like Powerball. People, you know, they chip into Powerball, and like it's like an office pool, except
Did
it's
you
all
win?
Europe.
Did you win?
No, I'm not European, nor did I enter the Powerball contest. I've won nothing.
No, you've won the right to call yourself an author.
That's true.
I was wondering where the other book was, and then it was pointed out to me, in fact, that Jeff has the other copy of your book. Are you enjoying it? You what?
It should be, can you read that? Shouldn't it be on an e-reader?
How dare you?
Okay. We go back. He's so attitude, so much attitude.
I can't tell you. There are certain times during the lunar cycle where he just goes crazy.
It's oil.
What are you talking about? Leave me alone.
So how have you been? What have you been up to? Writing books, I take it, huh?
Writing books, taking names.
Do you take people's names and then use them in books later on? That's illegal.
I don't think it's illegal, but I do. I always change them to something that is somewhat related to how I think of the original person. Did you
ever anyone come up to you and say, "Wait, that's me in that book, that jerk, that's me, isn't it?"
No, it's the reverse, actually. Well, yes, that.
I see. So what you said was, what you said is wrong, Craig. Actually, when I think about it, it was right. But I'm more comfortable saying you're wrong. So
accusing you of things you didn't do. It's my space of comfort. No, but what's more interesting to me, at least, is when people will read about themselves. I don't write too much. I write more about myself. But they'll read about themselves and think, who was that? That's insane. I'm like, oh
what kind of crazy creep?
That's you.
Like, yeah.
And I don't know how to tell them.
Wait.
It's, you know,
I'm not in any of those books.
It's the copy Jeff has.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
It's a copy that's hand inscribed. You can only read it if you're a robot.
Kiss my ass.
Man! Jeff, you're meant to be supportive of the guests. This is not good.
No, I was talking to you, man.
Oh, okay. That's fine. How have you been otherwise? Have you been on your travels? Have you been off and around?
I've been off and around. I've been, honestly, I'm still like kind of like enamored that Kristen Stewart was here. It's kind of exciting.
Was I too creepy? I had to apologize.
No, I don't think so. I like the Twilight movies. They're good. I do.
I haven't seen it.
They're good.
good.
Well,
yeah.
I grew up on like Anne Rice, and so they're totally different. I mean, they kind of make Anne Rice look like Dickens, but they're good.
Are you trying to undo all the I've been putting together here? I've been working hard, like the Twihards are just thinking about putting their pitchforks down and leaving me alone.
This is the thing, is I'm trying to distract you. I'm trying to take the heat off of you via Jeff and myself. They can come after me.
No, you don't want the kids that love the vampire movies after you. You don't. Trust me. You don't want that. They'll make your life a living hell. I can't tell you how many times my studio has been TP'd.
TP'd.
Yeah.
I don't think vampires need toilet paper, though.
I don't know. No, vampires. No, I think they poop.
The lesser-known children's book, Do Vampires Poop?
Everybody poops, including vampires. That was the secret.
Asterisk?
No, well, this is a question I've always wondered. Do zombies poop? Because they eat human brains, so clearly they poop.
This is getting really medical. I don't know if I know the answer.
Oh, you do? Oh, wait. This is getting medical. I know the answer about the zombie digestive system.
It's excreted out the pores like a snake.
Snakes don't poop?
I have no idea about that either.
Oh, you made it up? Oh, you saw just because you saw the snake?
Yeah.
You think you're great because you've got glasses. You think you're smarter than me because you've got glasses? I wear glasses too sometimes.
That's not why. It's because of the heels.
Because the heels? Let me see. Very good heels. Yeah, no, it's all working wherever's going on here. Yeah.
Well, I have huge, giant feet. I was supposed to be like a supermodel, and something went horribly. Like, you know, puppies have big paws.
And then they become supermodels?
A kind of a dog, sure. But yeah, no, they become like a giant...
What are you doing?
They become larger dogs, and I never grew up.
Have you got very big feet? Stick one of them up here. Let's have a look. They're not that big. They're not. They're not. Do you water ski at all? It's a joke. They're not big. They're not that big. It's one of those things people think get ideas in their head about things in their body. For example, I think I'm a creepy grey-haired older man. That's not true.
Not true at all.
Exactly,
but it would be great if you just only. Well, that would be good if all of the American or female nervousness and feeling bad about your body was focused on like obscure extremities, like your earlobes. Like you only gain weight in your earlobes, or you only everyone was always just feeling bad. Like it's none of this. This is fine, and then it was all like, oh, I have that fat pinky I have to work out.
That'd be good.
Right? And that's what everyone was so stressed about.
Working out.
There would be no more women's magazines, though. That would be.
But maybe stress is stress, no matter what it was. So if society said you have to have thin pinkies, then everyone would be like, oh, I gotta go to the gym.
Right. Everyone would be drug addicts.
Right. Everyone would be working their pinky.
I know. Sorry. That's true.
Are you doing a dirty joke about working your pinky?
No.
Oh, no, wait. It was in my head, sorry.
I was doing it well. I mean, it wasn't pure. It was a drug addict joke about people and what they do with their pinkies. Isn't that like an 80s, a thing where you do drugs off your pinky? Am I the first one to say that?
Oh, I know what you mean. No, I thought you meant pinky.
Yeah.
We're out of time. You want a coconut? You don't have to have it now because it's a laxative I've found out.
Oh, well, that's good news. Wait, what do you do with the coconut?
You can take it home and draw a face on it or something if you want.
You can send them in the U.S. mail.
Those glasses are real, aren't they? You could
send a coconut. You can just put a stamp on it.
Well, you can? Really?
Yeah, if you'd like, I can send you back the coconut.
You know, why don't we send the coconut around the world like in that movie Amelie?
Okay.
And we'll get the coconut, we'll draw a face on it.
Or like the Expedia gnome.
Yeah. No, like the thing that isn't advertising.
I don't work for them.
All right, let's draw a face on the coconut. All right? Little eyes here. There you go. Eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we'll give it lipstick.
Okay.
This is happening on TV right now. But Craig, don't you have one you prepared earlier? No.
You're the prop specialist as well.
Yeah, I'm actually... There might be a strike because I'm doing this, actually. There you are. Coconut. So... Take that coconut with you. And then send us a picture for... You going back to New York?
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
Send it, and then we'll start posting the coconut around. It'll be like a thing.
Like weird places.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Sloane Crosley, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for that extended applause to get us past a little bit there. My next guest is a best-selling author of a book told by me. Words out of my mouth sometimes. No, she wrote a book called I Was Told There'd Be Cake, and she wrote this book called How Did You Get This Number? What are you don't even know what you're doing at. She's a good friend of the show, the lovely Sloane Crosley, everybody. Hello, Sloane.
Hello.
May I compliment you on your appearance, if that's not too kind of pushy of me? You look really lovely. I mean, your orange shoes and then this wonderful thing.
This wonderful thing.
And the dress is nice, too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mostly this arm.
This arm is the sexiest arm I've ever seen.
Well, it's the closest to you. I was going to compliment you on your socks. But
They're tights, actually.
They are?
Yeah, I wear them because it's hot.
Oh, right. They look like
you know, the old double bluff.
Yes, exactly. Well, I do that all the time, actually. I always sort of dress anti-seasonally to try to, like, I'll wear, like, flip-flops in the winter to try to trick myself.
Trick yourself or trick nature?
Trick nature. Trick myself into not having the flu.
You're right. You know, you wear flip-flops. You live in New York. You can't walk around in flip-flops.
Oh, because of the dirt?
And pee-pee.
And I always think that when people have those dogs, the Shih Tzus, I know, it's funny.
Yes.
But it's like a mop that they're just walking along.
Yeah, they're just like, it's like they take that thing, go and collect as many germs as you can.
And then come back
bring
into the house.
them to the house, yeah.
Yes. And then actually preferably hop up on the bed and just...
I liked when you did that. Do that grr noise again. Oh, good Lord, it's lovely to see you.
Good to see you, too.
So you've been at the writing, then? One of them lady writers. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't... It's really, well, because of the disconnect between this and it's hard being a woman writer.
Is it?
No.
I think it's hard being a writer sometimes.
Well, it's insular, certainly. I mean, because, I haven't been anywhere for a while. I'm going to New Orleans next week, actually.
Really? For why?
This is for a reason that people do not go to New Orleans in the middle of August, to write.
Well, you'll stay indoors a lot, so yeah.
That's actually similar to the Shih Tzu flip-flop theorem.
Shih Tzu flip-flop? Forgotten Bands of Woodstock. Yeah.
That's the name of my jam band.
Yeah. So you're going to stay in... Well, you know, I know somebody who does that, actually, a writer, a New York writer.
Who?
Larry Block, Lawrence Block, that he goes to New Orleans and writes. Yeah, you know Larry?
No, but I'm just saying you guys are...
Oh, yeah. He's...
super tight. No, I know Anne Rice lives down there.
That's right,
My
she's
friend
been
Nat
here.
Rich is down there, and that's who I'm...
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go and see Anne Rice, too. Have you met Anne Rice?
No.
She smells great.
Does she? Like,
so whenever she's here, I have to tell her how great... She wears this cologne or perfume or something. It's like, wow.
I think you spend enough time, writing about the undead, and you're like, I just want to smell like a rose.
Well, maybe yeah. She writes a lot of very creepy stuff, and such a warm, lovely person.
And I'm always surprised by that. Chuck Palahniuk, who wrote Fight Club.
Yes, he's been here, yeah, lovely.
Just the nicest man. And
but I have that,
what's going on?
I have the theory that people who write, like David Benioff, who writes Game of Thrones,
Yes.
and have you read his book, City of Thieves?
Yeah, I read that, and When the Nines Roll Over.
Oh, wow, he writes so dark, and he's such a sort of friendly and seemingly, I don't know him that well, but he has a kind of positive. I think that it works in opposites. Like comedians who are very funny are usually dark, twisted, awful, desperate
Yeah.
people.
Desperate.
But they're like, yeah.
Watch the birdie.
Yeah. Pay no attention.
Crying,
You can't see
crying.
my pain. And are incapable of working in that. But people who write really dark stuff are usually like Stephen King was here. What a lovely, friendly, well-adjusted human being.
I'm a little worried though that this is leading towards my stuff is not that dark.
I know. So I suspect that you have.
I'm just.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you probably have a great darknesses.
I feel like this should be we could join this into a therapy couch.
Well, we can do a bit of therapy if you want. Certainly. Are you in therapy? You live in New York, you should be. Yeah. Aren't you in therapy?
Well, you know, I actually do have a therapist.
Yeah, me too.
I do, and I like her a fair bit, but she talks more than I do.
No, they shouldn't do that. Yeah.
No, I love it, actually.
Really?
Great. Well, I mean, I'm
Well, that's such a writer's thing, you know. I mean, like, go, and just let her talk, and then you can take her and make her a character.
I'll latch on, just take her and make her a character.
Yeah, just steal her
She did
life.
start asking, so between this collection of essays, I'm working on a novel, and I finally started talking about the characters in the novel, because it always bothers me when people talk about their characters. It seems very self-important and self-serious if they talk about them like they're real.
Well, they are real, though, aren't they? To you, sort of, kind of?
To me, sort of, kind of, but at the same time, I know when to sort of keep it in the house and not, you know, go down the street and be like, oh, Bob, there's no character named Bob, but Bob did the funniest thing the other day. And you're like, well, that's not a real person.
Yeah, but did you ever write a character?
I could kill him tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but see, that's the interesting thing about being a writer. I noticed, I was writing a story once about a woman in France. And I realized about a couple of days in that I started to think, and I'd spent a lot of time alone, that I started to think she was on to me and she knew that I was writing about her.
Oh, wait, okay, so this is a real person.
No. This is a fictional person that I...
Maybe she was writing about you the entire time.
Oh, come on!
It's quite possible.
Well, don't you get emotionally attached to characters?
Of course you do. Of course you do. Yeah. I mean, well, that's when you start figuring out, I think, when you think, you hear this, that people will start, you know, they'll start speaking to you. I'm like, that hasn't quite happened, but that happens in the negative, where you're like, well, that person would never say that in a million years.
Right, okay.
It happens sort of a negative.
What about the novel, I think, intrigues me. What are you writing about in the novel? Because that's the one that's, you know, that's punk rock right there. That's going to take over. You know?
It's the kind of... my brain or the world?
Yeah, no, maybe not the world, but certainly your brain.
Certainly my brain.
Yeah.
No, it definitely takes over. It's actually, it's a very different experience, because you have to make up this. I always compare fiction to. I don't have this frame of reference, so I have no right for the following comparison.
Doesn't matter.
Fine, it's all reference. Fiction to me is like having a child.
Right.
Where everything about that is your fault. Everything, all the DNA, the nature, the nurture, the spitting up, it is your fault. Whereas if you adopt a child, part of that's not your fault. And I feel like nonfiction, you're basing...
Can you hold?
Yeah.
I'm with you, but just hold just a second.
That's fine.
The views expressed by Sloane Crosley are in no way mine. Unless you agree with her, in which case they are. So, okay.
Because you're bouncing off the world. You write nonfiction, you know, some of the stuff is just a fact of the world we live in. If I write an essay about your snake mug...
Yeah, but even if you write a piece of nonfiction about the snake mug, you still have a subjectivity about it, so it becomes, in some way, a perspective, and therefore, to me, it may be fictional. Like what you think about my snake mug, you know, for example, this is not a pipe. You know what I'm saying, right?
I'm agreed.
Right.
I know what you're
so,
saying.
you know, how you see it, how I see it, you know, your fact is my fiction, come on, man.
I'm trying to recuse myself of any responsibility, and you're not letting me.
I'm not letting you. I'm not letting you because you're a
Oprah.
very, very, very intelligent human being and a terrific writer. If you were just some celebrity tramp whore in a book, I would let you away with it, but you're not.
I'm so happy that the ing came after. I really thought I heard celebrity tramp whore.
Or that, yeah.
I was really nervous.
No, I'm very excited to read the novel.
I'm excited to do that, and then the novel will come out, you know.
It'll come
we have
when
some
it comes.
time. You're catching me in sort of like promotional purgatory.
That's where I live.
That's where you... Have you ever seen Defending Your Life?
I have. I love that movie. Albert Brooks movie. I love that movie.
The past lives, does everyone? I wish everybody has seen it.
Oh yeah. Well.
I wouldn't encourage them to stop watching right now, the show. But maybe once the show is over.
Stop watching right now. And go and watch Defending Your Life because we're out of time.
Oh well, there you go. So maybe this is good timing.
Sloane Crosley, everybody. We're